Hi, so today we're going to be making roasted red peppers. And roasted red peppers are a really common ingredient in Mediterranean cooking. They have a really nice flavor punch to things like hummus or soups, stews, pizzas, chutneys, pestos, but they can be a little bit expensive. So there's a really easy way that you can make them at home. And I like to take advantage of the occasional sales when they have peppers, because roasted red peppers can be kind of expensive, but sometimes they're on sale for like $1 a piece or $1.20 a piece, in which case I go in and buy usually like 10, and I do it as a big bulk batch, partly because it does take a little bit of time, and partly because I want to take advantage of those price deals. So what you're going to need is a sheet pan covered with aluminum foil, because it's going to be a little messy, so this will make for easy cleanup, and then your roasted red pepper. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to turn your oven on to broil, and where you position the rack is going to kind of depend on the size of the bell pepper that you get. So the closer you can get to the element, the better. If you're cooking your bell peppers at the top slot in your broiler, then they'll probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. If you have to move them down one slot, then they're probably going to take about 25 minutes, maybe even 30. But you don't want the peppers coming in contact with the broiler element. So you want to kind of get an idea of how tall these are going to be once you put them in the pan before you go ahead and pop them in the oven. So as your broiler is heating up, then you can prepare the peppers themselves. So it's really easy. All you're going to do is just quarter them. And you want to take out the seeds and the white partition that divides the pepper into folds. And then you're just going to put them on your sheet pan there. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be roasting them so that we can get the peel off of the pepper. And there is no way to peel a pepper, despite the nursery rhyme, other than roasting them. But once you've got them roasted up, the peel just falls right off the pepper really easily. So once you've got them all de-seeded and quartered, then you're going to go ahead and slide them into your broiler pan. And like I said, I usually don't do one pepper at a time. I usually do like 10, and I really crank it out. So, as you cook them, this is the color that you want them to be when they come out. So you really do want them to be black. It is gonna smell. So it might smell nice, might smell not so nice, depends on your point of view, but you do want this to be as black as possible. And then once they come out, you're going to need a sealed plastic jar. So a mason jar is perfect for this, but if you don't have a mason jar and you have just some other plastic jar, like an old pickle jar or something with a tight fitting lid, that works just as well. So while they're still hot, you're gonna take them off of the aluminum foil, and you're going to put them in your tight fitting jar. And then you're gonna seal it up and you're gonna put it in the fridge. And you're gonna let them sweat. So you want them to stay in the fridge for at least a couple of hours until they're nice and cooled down. So these are ones I've actually had in the refrigerator overnight, and you can see there's still a lot of condensation on the inside of the jar. But once I take these out, they got a nice heat seal in there too. Like that. Once I take them out, then all I have to do is just peel the skin off, and you can see how easily that skin just comes right off. And so I'm going to discard the skin, and I'm left with a beautiful, nicely flavored roasted red pepper. And once you've got to this point, then you can cut them into strips. You can put them in like a little small glass jar and add some olive oil. Maybe you want to add a little balsamic vinegar to create a marinade. Maybe some herbs, some basil and oregano to give it a nice Mediterranean flavor. And they make really cute gifts if you do it that way. Once you've got your jar of roasted red peppers, you can keep them in the fridge and use them for, say, a week to 10 days. They don't last forever. Because I process these in bulk, and I don't go through that many roasted red peppers in a week and 10 days, I freeze mine. So what I do is I cut them up. And I can put them in strips, or if I want, I can put them in like little cubes like that. Sometimes I even put them all in a food processor, and I process them because I want something that's, I'm gonna use more in like a sauce, or I'm gonna blend into a pesto. So I want something that's kind of smooth anyway. But these little chunks are great because they're kind of in the middle. So I can put these on top of a pizza, or I can put these into some kind of dish where I want them into whole pieces, but they're also really easy to blend into soup. And then you just put them in a little freezer tray. Do not use the same freezer tray that you would use for making your own ice cubes, because otherwise your ice cubes are gonna taste like roasted red peppers. I have a set of ice cube trays that I use specifically for things like this. So you just put them in the little ice cube trays like that and freeze them. And once they've had a chance to freeze, say overnight, then you can just pop them out and you put the cubes in little Ziploc freezer bags, and you can store them in your freezer for up to a year. And when you want to use some to add to a dish, you just take out 1 or 2 cubes and defrost them. You can defrost them in the microwave. You can just leave them on the counter while you're making the rest of your dish. And then you add them in, and you've got that delicious flavor. And it costs about 1/3 of what it would cost to purchase these roasted red peppers at the grocery store in jars. So it's really easy to do. It doesn't take very long, and it's got a delicious flavor that you can use throughout the year. Thank you.